It's 94.7 Blair Radio and BlairRadio.com. Our local guest segments are brought to us by Turnkey Nerds. 402-426-NERD. Bill McBeth with Artisan Made Design has joined us today.
Hello.
And thank you for coming in and taking a little time to talk to us.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
So you have recently opened up, it's a soft open at this point
Soft
in time,
opening, yep.
of a new business downtown, Artisan Made Design.
Yes, sir.
So tell us first a little bit about yourself. Who is Bill McBeth?
So let's see. I'm old now. I'm in my 40s. I have 3 daughters. I've got a 24-year IT career. I've been working with my hands my entire life. Even more so after the 90s. You know, back in the 90s when I built networks and computer systems, there was something tangible.
Right.
Well, now when I build that stuff, it's all up in the cloud and it's not real. And so furniture making gives me that tangible thing that I've made and something I can hold on to and see.
Sure.
Whereas I don't get that in computers anymore.
Right, because you're right. Everything is just a segment, an attachment to something else.
My head's been in the clouds for the last 10 years. So,
and it continues to become even more so that
Yes,
way.
sir.
So now, what is it that you liked to build? All of a sudden, you wanted something to do with your hands, so you started working with wood. How did that happen?
Well, like I said, I've been doing it since I was a little kid. My grandpa, none of this would have happened if I didn't have the grandpa that I had. Growing up, my grandpa always had hammers, nails, mostly because he didn't want me touching his projects he was working on and wanted to keep me busy. So always been building stuff, hammering things together, making airplanes, models. One of the first things him and I built together was a go-kart out of the Boy Scout Guide, one of the downhill racers.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And then, I've got married, bought my first house and built stuff for my house and do the repairs. And, tools are expensive. So I was like, well, let's do this as a side hustle. And it's still a side hustle, but, to help finance the tools. And then, of course, it gets out there and start building stuff. And then as for furniture, my favorite thing to build is tables because a dining table is where every family starts. It's where it's the heart of the home, Yeah. If I could build the heart of your home, that's an awesome story to be a part of.
So when it comes to that, do you kind of design it yourself, or do you work with people on what they want?
I do custom orders. So if you've got a design in your head, I can make it. If you need me to design it, I can design it. Most of my stuff, probably 90% of it is all custom made to order.
Okay.
And I am working on some design lines. I'm going to do 3 design lines. Each one of the design lines is going to be named after my daughters.
Okay.
So I've got the Isabel, which is going to be kind of the farmhouse meets a Parsons table.
All right.
So nice thick legs, good thick top. Got some stain options. And then I'm actually in the process of building the McKinsey, which will be a circular round table with kind of a geometric bottom.
Okay.
And then I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the Caitlin yet. That's my oldest. So
Working backwards then.
Working backwards, yep.
All right. Maybe she's old enough she can have some input. What
That's right.
represents her.
I'll just let her design it.
There you go. And so you have been doing this for some time, but now finally decided I need to have a store.
Yes.
What goes into that thought?
Well, like I said, I like building things, and the custom orders don't always all come in. And I've always wanted to have that retail space, someplace where I can build those spec pieces, put them in there, see how they sell. And then, part of this is I'm going to let other makers into the store because I firmly believe in collaboration versus competition. There's enough people in this world that we can all build furniture and not step on each other. And then the collaboration part of it, so many times I've had other makers reach out and say, hey, I don't know how to do this. Can you help me with it? Yep. And so we're always helping each other out. The woodworking community in general is a really good community to be a part of. Everybody's helping everybody. But, I got tired of storing it. I got tired of the hustle of craft shows.
Craft shows. I was going to say, you probably spent a lot of time at craft shows. You had to buy a trailer just for that.
Yes, a trailer, set up, take down. You get up at 5 a.m., you're heading to the craft show. You have to set it up, get everything staged. after our first day of opening, I looked at my wife. I said, "Hey, we don't have to take this down. It gets to stay here."
Yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of the wife, so you have to have a pretty good support system to be able to do this.
I do. So my wife, Heather, she actually makes some things. She does a lot of the signs, and she does some of the stenciling and that stuff. I do most of the building, but she came out to the shop one day, saw a whole bunch of scraps lying on the floor that I was just going to go throw away or burn, and she's like, "Why don't we make some of those farmhouse signs?" So she started making the signs, and now I keep less material out of the landfill and out of the skies, and but she works the store. My entire family supports me. My father-in-law spent countless hours, because I still work a full-time job, so he was there during the day, patching sheetrock, painting, doing some electrical work, helping me out with those repairs on the building.
Well, we're going to come back and then continue to talk about this whole process, getting into it, as well as where people can find you. So we'll continue talking with Bill McBeth right here on 94.7 Blair Radio and BlairRadio.com.